this is the one-piece sleeve that you have developed. Now, you'll have to turn that over and put all of the same lines on the other side. In other words, you want to have the same lines. These lines on this side, the same lines on this side as well. Next thing we're going to do, according to your directions on your papers, is to fold over. You're going to match two lines, one line to the other, actually right down the center of the back and the center of the front. In other words, all right, we have these two lines. We've matched these two lines. We're going to take this one, the other side, and match the other two lines, so that it's going to look like this. Now, let's open it up again. And remember, we should have marked the front and the back. Make sure you mark that. The front is the one that has the one notch, and the back has two notches. So this is my front, this is my back. That's very important. Now, we're going to take going to put a line from the front to the back, or I should say, I'm sorry, from the front, the center front to, on the front to, you're gonna, from the center line, you're gonna come over 1.5 inches. Is that 1.5? This is more, this is it. And this is on my front side, remember that. This is my elbow, right here, the elbow spot. So I'm gonna take one line, this line, and it's gonna be angled toward the elbow, and you're gonna put it right, you're gonna actually touch the elbow, and the line is gonna look like this. That's your line. Now, the next thing you're going to do, where you have folded it, those fold lines, you're gonna actually take your scissors and cut only to the fold on both sides. So it's gonna look like this. Now, from there, you're going to take, again, you're gonna match those lines. You actually, what you're doing is putting shape into your front, the front part of your sleeve, because that line is gonna go toward the front. I'm gonna show you just as soon as I get it done here, and you'll see it. You see it right on your information that you have. But it's a little tricky. But all I'm doing is putting one line over the other, and I have already changed. Remember, I changed this line, so that now it really means that I have a new line. I have a new, this is now my new grain line. That's what it's done. It's giving me a new grain line, so that I can take this for my new grain line and just put it here and here for my sleeve. Okay, now the next thing I'm gonna do is just fold the other two pieces over. And this is where the fun begins. We have to actually take our tape and tape these together. Here we are. I'm gonna tape them together. Make sure you use plenty of tape because you don't want it to fall apart. And you tape over. Make sure you tape over this line right here, tape it down so that it won't move. This is the shape you've got now. Now, before you go any further, where you see the wrist here, what I want you to do is to go down, actually, from the, this is the back now, remember. You're gonna go down 1 inch, I believe it's 1 inch, yes. It could be 3/4. I think it's probably 3/4, but we'll go down an inch, will be fine. And just connect it to the front line. So that we'll have a straight line here, instead of having one line up here and one line down there. So here we are. Okay. And again, as I said before, we have a new grain line now. Okay. So our next step is going to be to actually shape it slightly. And as you can see, the front part right here, we're gonna go over 2 inches from the fold here. Two inches. All right, 2 inches in. Seems to be a lot, but I think that's correct. 2 inches. That's correct. And when we get down to the bottom, however, that is the wrist portion, we're gonna go down only 1 inch. And what we're going to do is basically we're gonna put in a new line. That's the line that's gonna be the second, the 2 pieces, because in a 2-piece garment or in a 2-piece sleeve, the seams underneath the arm do not match. The seam is of the front is a little bit further toward the front than the actual garment itself. Then the seam line of the garment, the side seam of the line of the garment. So this is what we have to do with the curve, and you can actually kind of draw it yourself a little bit. You got to get from point A here to down here where you did. So that's 1 inch in. This is 2 inches in. So, but we've got to slope it. So what I will do is take but I don't want it to be too round, so I will probably slope it a little bit that way, and then I'm sloping it a little bit more. And this is the line that I want to achieve. The line that goes right here and then over there. So it does going straight down. It's going from the 2 inch point to the 1 inch point, but it's kind of sloping. Okay, so that is completed. Now the back part of the sleeve, we're just going to go in about a 1/2 inch right up here, and you'll see that in the directions or the instructions that you have. You'll see how that goes, and you're just going to slope that down to this particular line, which is your biceps line. So here we have it. I want to just double check about this is going to be my grain line for this part of it. So I have it, which goes right here on this seam. So this is the grain line. That's cool. And then it's going to slide down. Okay. So now what we're going to do is to separate them in order to get our 2-piece sleeve. But before we do that, why not just put a 1 inch Well, no, we won't do that. We'll just cut it right here because we're going to put our seam allowances in on a separate piece of paper. So here we are. We have that. And what I'm going to do before I cut it, remember this is my new line here. I'm sorry, that's not it. This is my new line. This is the grain line. Here we are. Sorry about that. What I'm gonna do is right where you see the elbow here, I'm gonna go up about 4 inches and I'm just gonna put a cross mark on this line and a cross mark on this line so that when I separate them, I'll know where they're going to go together. You'll understand what I'm saying in a minute. And then I'm going to put a line here, a line here. And I can turn it over and make sure I get it. Because when we separate these, we want to be able to know how to get the two pieces back together again. So here we are. We're going to cut it now as we're separating it. That's the line that the new line that we put in, and this one, it's the same. The line that is folded there, that we folded, we can use that line. Just separating them. So then we call this the upper sleeve. And we call this the under sleeve. Show you what I've done. Okay, wait a minute. You've got more for that. See, remember you open that up. So this becomes my whole upper sleeve, and this is the under sleeve. Now, the next thing you're going to do, and I'm going to let you do that on your own. Here, my sleeves are. You're going to take your paper, and again, it's a whole nother new sheet of paper because this is the draft, and this is the draft because it has no seam allowance on it. So what we have to do is to put it on another piece of paper, and we end up putting on the seam allowances. That's the upper sleeve. And this is the under sleeve. That's the upper sleeve. Sorry about that. I don't want to confuse you. Hope I haven't confused you so far. And this is the under sleeve. And guess what? You're done. You have your two-piece sleeve pattern. So I hope you are able to accomplish this. I know I believe you can. But if you have any questions, you can email me, you can get me on Canvas, whatever you need, just get in touch with me, okay? And do the best you can. And we'll meet in class on Friday. I'll let you know exactly how that meeting is going to be because, again, we're all new. I'm new at this. Plus, I do have some concerns about how I'm going to get you Hopefully it's going to be Zoom, and I look forward to seeing you then. And hopefully you will have accomplished this or gotten close to it anyway. Thank you very much.